everyone, this is T-Ban here. I want to quickly create a video on why relationships can help you, whether it's dating, friendships, anything, right? Anything like that, or your family. So I was coming back from the gym, and let me quickly tell you, I did a nice back and triceps workout, really nice. I did an extra amount of reps, added some weights, and overall, that was a satisfying gym workout. But anyways, and I was coming back from the gym, and I just realized that relationships, when you're dating someone, it's a hit or miss, right? And a lot of people are leaning towards not dating anyone these days, especially when it comes to people who are on the road to becoming successful, on the road to trying to make a $1 million business, right? And I realized that I understand why it's a hit or miss. A lot of people think that if they get into a relationship, they're gonna waste a lot of time. Majority of the time, the girl's gonna leave, or majority of the time, that the girl's gonna cheat, right? And that's the problem. They already have these misconceptions about how dating is. For example, I didn't technically date, right? And I'm in a relationship at the moment. But the thing is, I have high standards. I have morals and values set into place. So I knew that exactly what type of girl I wanted, okay? Who I wanted to attract. And when I met that person, it was a completely it's a huge game changer to me, at least, right? Because I realized that, I was numbing my freaking emotions for 2 years. Out of the blue moon, this girl came up and she made me feel emotions. Like, what the frick? At a deep level, right? And that's why I was so surprised, is because now I'm able to feel these emotions, and it feels great because I'm able to have more empathy. I'm able to be more compassionate with others, and that's a likable skill to have, okay? That's very attractive in my opinion, when someone has empathy and is able to be compassionate to other people. That's just one thing, one aspect that I saw that really changed my whole perspective on dating, right? Because I was someone who had trust issues, and at the moment I don't have any trust issues, right? So, which is great, because I was a person who saw the negative sides of dating throughout high school and a little bit of university. So that's why I was leaning towards not trying to date, but I was still open to dating someone if I met the right person, which I have, right? So where I'm trying to go with this is that, dating is a hit or miss if you don't have your life together. And let me quickly talk about the 3 pillars that I always talk about. So number one is, all right, you have to have your health in place. Am I right? Listen, if your health isn't in place, if you're fat and you want to become jacked, you're of course going to be negative. You're of course going to be pessimistic. You're of course going to be a person who doesn't love themselves because you're freaking fat and you want to become jacked, okay? Alright? The thing is, if you're negative towards yourself, what makes you think that you're going to be positive towards other people and treat a girl right or a guy right, right? You have to understand that if you want to become a great person, someone who's empathetic, someone who's compassionate, you have to work on your health. You have to first work on yourself. You have to do deep introspectiveness work. Alright? You have to go into a period where you focus solely on yourself, and health is the most important aspect to focus on, because if your body is weak, you're not going to be able to do anything, right? You're not going to be able to work, you're not going to be able to move around, you're not going to be able to do anything, like I'm saying. So focus on your health. If you want to become jacked, go to the gym at least 3 times a week and be consistent. All right, health is important, like I'm saying. This allows you to love yourself. This allows you to be able to be more positive, to dream bigger, okay? Once you have a nice physique, you're going to be impressed by how much respect you get from other people. And this will lead you to other opportunities down the line. It's because when someone sees someone jacked, that instantly gives them credibility, because they're like, dang, this guy has discipline. Dang, this guy has put in years of work to get that Greek god physique, right? So yeah, this will help you to become more positive, and then this will also help you to be more positive towards other people because you're not negative to yourself and you're not bringing in that negative talk anywhere, right? So it's all about that positivity. You have to spread positivity. Number two is relationships. It's not about dating, but it's about your family, your friends, acquaintances, and how you treat other people in general, right? Okay, listen, I'm not saying that everyone who is fat or who's skinny fat, who is skinny and who hates their body is not nice to people, but majority of the times people are mean to other people when they hate themselves, right? But listen, relationships are very important when it comes to your family and your friends. Your environment plays a huge role. Okay, there's people out there who are working towards becoming better. There's people out there who are working towards improving their relationships with their family and friends. I would say the most important aspect is to improve your relationship with your family because those people are usually going to be the ones who help you out through the tough times. If not, of course, there's people out there who still become successful without their family. But it's still nice to have your parents support you, okay? So have the ability to always focus on improving your relationships with your family. As tough as it seems, things get will things will get better. It takes time. Anything takes time. Anything good takes time, okay? So you have to constantly be focusing on improving it regardless, right? As much as it seems tough, I'm saying if you can focus on it at least twice a week or three times a week, just having small conversations and then trying to build up that conversation to like a 10 to 15 minute conversation or 1 hour conversation, that helps tremendously. And then when it comes to friendships, you gotta understand that the people you surround yourself with is important. If you surround yourself with losers, people who aren't improving, who aren't doing anything amazing in life, they're constantly smoking, they're constantly playing video games, they're constantly just doing nothing with their lives. Of course, you're gonna be the person like them, right? You're gonna be a person just like them. It's because they're playing a huge influence on yourself without you realizing it. But once you start to move towards a different pathway, once you start to realize that, oh, these guys aren't really great people, they're holding me back, right? So you gotta understand that if you want to go towards a different pathway, you have to drop those people or you have to spend less time with them, okay? Of course, it's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be worth it. And then lastly, I'm just gonna add dating to that whole list. If you have high standards, great morals and values, you're gonna cut the dating market in half and you're gonna be able to find basically girls, specific girls who you think are attractive, who are nice, who you want to speak to, right? And that will help you a lot in the long run because you're able to observe them, you're able to understand what type of girl they are or the guy they are, right? And that'll help you tremendously because once you work on your body, once you work on your health, once you work on your relationships, once you become a better person, a charismatic, a magnetic person, a leader, right? You'll start to realize that you're attracting people or people generally just love your whole presence. So that's important. Just have good morals and values, be yourself, improve every single day, and you'll find the right person. Lastly is finances. See, I would say finances could be the second one or the whole relationship could be the second one, okay? But finance is very important. The reason I say you have to at least have 2 out of 3 pillars is because let's just say that you find a beautiful woman or a beautiful guy who you think is a great fit for you to marry, right? And you're like 20 years old. You're so young. You gotta understand that, hey, your finances are not gonna be the best during this time. You might be lost. Everyone has a different timeline. So finances, if as long as you're working towards a goal, the person should be able to understand. If not, if you're constantly just chilling, listen, you're not gonna get anywhere in life with having $0. I'm gonna be completely honest, okay? So you have to suck it up. You might have to freaking work a 9 to 5, or you have to just hustle and just work on your skills, work on building up high income skills. At least one, right? that's pretty much it. Like, once you have all three of those nailed down, you can easily find anyone. But let's just say you have 2 out of 3 nailed down, and you find the right girl or guy. Speak to them about it. Let them know about your whole situation. And if they think that, hey, they could see you as a potential partner, or they could see you with them in the future, go for it. Go for it. And you gotta understand communication is very important, right? Whether it comes to communicating with your friends, communicating with acquaintances, communicating with the teachers, communicating with employees, and communicating with bosses, whatever, right? It's very important, right? Without communication, you're never gonna go somewhere with anything. So being able to express and communicate with your partner is very important. If you know that you're struggling right now, ask them for solutions. And if they're not helping you, that just means they're not a good fit, or they just can't help you with that whole problem. But majority of the times, your partner is gonna have a solution. Your friends are gonna have a solution. Whoever it is, they're gonna have a solution. And you have to have the ability to put your ego down and just work on yourself and work on fixing that problem, work on solving the problem. So the reason I'm saying dating is a hit or miss is because once you find the right person, it's not a miss. It's actually something that's gonna help you propel you towards achieving your goals. For example, I don't. For example, when I started dating this girl, yes, I did focus more on trying to understand her and trying to really figure out who she is, right? Because she intrigues me every single time whenever I talk to her. I feel like amazed whenever she talks low key, right? And the thing is, she doesn't realize that, okay, she literally put more fuel, more fire onto the fire I had, right? More freaking gas onto the fire I already had. And now she ignited the flame even more to the point where I just want to do things. I want to focus on as much as I just want to focus on providing. I want to focus on literally getting my life together as quick as I can because I want to freaking be able to provide. I want to help other people. I want to be able to have my life together, right? So basically, why I'm saying it's very important to find the right person is because once you find the right person, you'll start to realize you're gonna be more disciplined. You're gonna be able to do way more things. It's because you have more reasons to focus on yourself. You have more reasons to grind. You have more reasons to really make it out, right? And that's the beautiful part, especially when your partner understands that, oh, he's working on something. Oh, he's gonna do something. And it's great when they also support you too. And then there's relationships that don't work out. And the reason I think that relationships don't work out is because both people in the relationship have low standards, have terrible morals and values, and like sometimes hey they're not compatible too. But majority of the time it's because these guys and girls don't have high standards for each other. These guys and girls don't have good morals and values, which leads them to doing dumb things in life, which leads them to not really focusing on themselves and helping each other out. They're just there to just have a short-term relationship, which is pointless in my opinion, especially if you're trying to date to marry. Never get into a short-term relationship. It's a waste. Yeah, because majority of the times, like, a lot of guys and girls these days, they just hook up for a day and then leave. And I'm like, it's so pointless because you guys are wasting time. You guys have rotations going on, and you're spending so much time on freaking just having intimacy or just doing the deed and then leaving, which is very pointless because it's not adding any value to your life. It's not gonna help you in the long term run. Literally, it's not gonna help at all. And that's what happens when people don't realize. They start to drift downwards. They start to freaking spiral downwards afterwards, right? As sad as it sounds, majority of the people who are doing this right now aren't gonna live a great life. And it's the truth. A lot of people are not prioritizing themselves right now, especially in their early 20s or mid 20s. You could always turn your life around in your 30s, but it's very hard, especially in your 30s. Because let's say you're a fat person in your 30s and you haven't dated anyone or you dated people. Majority of the time, no one's really gonna date you if you don't have anything to provide, okay? It's just the truth. So you gotta focus on yourself right now while you have the time, especially if you're listening to this and you're very young. Take the time to at least spend 2 to 4 hours each day on yourself. Whether it's listening to podcasts, starting a side hustle, reading, going outside, and trying to work on your communication skills. All of that is very important. Just pick something, focus on it, and improve. And to anyone out there who's looking to get into the dating market, understand this. Focus on yourself first. Spend 1 to 2 years on yourself. If you're a man and if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a vision at least, then you're not going to become someone who's really worth dating, right? Especially in these days, especially in the modern age, right? So focus on yourself for at least 1 to 2 years. Have 2 pillars set in place, at least, right? At least. If anything, have 3 pillars in place. But if you can't, just 2 pillars are nice. And then don't chase. Don't freaking chase. Just literally attract as much as you can. Focus on your personality. Focus on becoming more authentic. Focus on being able to communicate with other people. Focus on just having fun while you're improving. Yeah, this video is all over the place because I'm just trying to understand myself how relationships are and how it's very beneficial, especially when you find the right person. And I'm probably gonna make a whole another video on this later on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just remember to take it easy and everything will be fine.